The power of belief is something that has fascinated humanity since the dawn of time, from ancient civilizations to modern societies. The concept that our thoughts can shape our reality has been a cornerstone of human experience. Today, I want to explore how true, unwavering belief can transform not just our perception of the world, but the world itself. Let me start with a story that perfectly illustrates this concept. In a small farming village nestled between rolling hills and vast plains, there lived a farmer named Thomas. Thomas wasn't particularly special in any way. He worked the land like his neighbors, worried about his crops, and prayed for good weather like everyone else. What set Thomas apart was his extraordinary capacity for belief. That year, the region had been devastated by drought. For months, not a single drop of rain had fallen. The once lush fields had turned to dust, crops withered in the relentless sun, and the villagers grew increasingly desperate. Their livelihoods, their very survival, depended on the rain that refused to come. As desperation mounted, the village elders called for a community prayer. "We must appeal to the heavens," they said. "It's our only hope." And so, on a sweltering Sunday afternoon, the entire village gathered in the town square, heads bowed, voices raised in unified supplication for rain. Among them stood Thomas with his 6-year-old daughter, Emma. Unlike the others, whose prayers were tinged with desperation and doubt, Emma approached the gathering with absolute certainty. As they prepared to leave their home for the prayer meeting, Thomas watched in amazement as his daughter grabbed an umbrella. "Emma," he said gently, "there's not a cloud in the sky. Why are you bringing an umbrella?" The little girl looked up at her father with clear, unwavering eyes. "Because we're going to pray for rain, Daddy," she replied simply. "And when it rains, we'll need it." That moment struck Thomas like lightning. While the entire village, himself included, had been going through the motions of prayer, only his daughter truly believed. She wasn't just hoping for rain, she was expecting it with such certainty that she prepared for it. That's when Thomas understood the profound difference between asking and believing. This story, whether apocryphal or not, illustrates a fundamental truth about belief. It's not just about wishing for something to happen, it's about acting as if it already has, or at the very least, as if it's inevitable. This is the essence of what psychologists and spiritual leaders alike refer to as true belief. But what exactly is true belief? And how does it differ from mere wishful thinking? True belief goes beyond positive thinking or optimism. It's a deep, unshakable conviction that permeates every aspect of your being. It's not just thinking something might happen, it's knowing it will happen with such certainty that you begin to act accordingly. Consider the placebo effect, one of the most well-documented phenomena in medical science. Patients given sugar pills instead of actual medication often experience real physiological improvements simply because they believe they're receiving effective treatment. Their bodies respond to their beliefs, producing real, measurable changes. This isn't imagination, it's the power of belief manifesting in physical reality. Or take the concept of self-fulfilling prophecies. When we deeply believe something about ourselves or our circumstances, we unconsciously behave in ways that make that belief come true. If you believe you'll fail at a job interview, you'll likely appear nervous and unprepared, increasing your chances of actually failing. Conversely, if you believe you'll succeed, you'll project confidence and competence, making success more likely. This isn't magical thinking, it's psychology and neuroscience. Our beliefs shape our perceptions influence our actions, and our actions determine our outcomes. It's a cycle that can either empower or limit us, depending on what we choose to believe. Throughout history, we've seen remarkable examples of individuals whose unwavering belief propelled them to achieve what others deemed impossible. Take Roger Bannister, who in 1954 became the first person to run a mile in under 4 minutes. Prior to his achievement, medical experts widely believed that the human body was physically incapable of such a feat. They claimed that attempting it would cause catastrophic physical damage. Bannister didn't just dismiss these limitations, he refused to accept them as his reality. He believed, with absolute conviction, that the 4-minute barrier could be broken. And on May 6, 1954, he proved it could. What's particularly fascinating is what happened afterward. Within just 46 days of Bannister's achievement, Australian runner John Landy broke the record again. Within 3 years, 16 other runners had also broken the 4-minute barrier. What changed? The human body didn't suddenly evolve in a matter of weeks. What changed was belief. Once Bannister proved it was possible, the psychological barrier was removed. Other runners now believed they could do it too, and they did. This pattern repeats throughout human achievement. Before the Wright brothers, powered flight was considered impossible by many experts. Before Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, reaching the summit of Mount Everest was deemed beyond human capability. Before Elon Musk, the idea of private companies leading space exploration seemed far-fetched. These pioneers didn't just have dreams or hopes, they had unshakable belief. They acted as if success was inevitable, even when evidence suggested otherwise. They brought their umbrellas to the prayer for rain. But true belief isn't just for historical figures or exceptional individuals. It's a force available to each of us in our daily lives. Consider the research on mindset conducted by Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck. She found that people with a growth mindset, those who believe their abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, tend to achieve more than those with a fixed mindset, who believe their talents are innate gifts. The difference isn't in their initial abilities, but in their beliefs about those abilities. Those with a growth mindset believe in the possibility of improvement, so they embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, learn from criticism, and find inspiration in others' success. Their belief in growth becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, it's important to distinguish true belief from denial or delusion. True belief doesn't mean ignoring reality or refusing to acknowledge obstacles. Rather, it means seeing those obstacles as temporary and surmountable. It means focusing on possibilities rather than limitations. When Thomas Edison was working on the light bulb, he reportedly failed thousands of times before finding a viable solution. When asked about these failures, he famously replied, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This wasn't blind optimism, it was unwavering belief in his ultimate success, coupled with a realistic assessment of each setback. So how do we cultivate this kind of true belief in our own lives? It begins with awareness. Most of us aren't fully conscious of the beliefs that drive our actions and shape our experiences. We've absorbed limiting beliefs from our families, schools, media, and culture, beliefs about what's possible, what we deserve, what we're capable of. The first step is to identify these beliefs and question their validity. Ask yourself, is this belief serving me? Is it based on fact? Or is it an assumption I've never challenged? What would be possible if I believe something different? Next comes the practice of intentional belief. This isn't about forcing yourself to believe something you don't. Rather, it's about opening yourself to new possibilities and deliberately focusing on evidence that supports empowering beliefs. If you want to believe you can start a successful business, for instance, you might study entrepreneurs with similar backgrounds to yours. You might recall past challenges you've overcome. You might break down the process into manageable steps that feel achievable. Gradually, your belief in possibility strengthens. Visualization is another powerful tool for cultivating belief. Athletes have long used visualization techniques to enhance performance. By vividly imagining successful outcomes, feeling the emotion, seeing the details, experiencing the achievement in their minds, they strengthen neural pathways associated with success. Their bodies and minds begin to act as if success is familiar, expected, inevitable. Perhaps most importantly, true belief requires action. Like Emma bringing her umbrella to the prayer meeting, we must act in accordance with our beliefs. If you truly believe you'll get that promotion, you'll work with the confidence and initiative of someone already in the higher position. If you truly believe your business will succeed, you'll make investments and decisions aligned with that future success. This alignment between belief and action creates a powerful momentum. Each action taken from a place of belief generates evidence that reinforces that belief, creating a positive spiral of increasing confidence and achievement. Of course, cultivating true belief isn't always easy. We live in a world that often encourages skepticism and highlights limitations. We face setbacks and disappointments that test our convictions. Maintaining belief in the face of contrary evidence requires resilience and sometimes a community of support. This is where the power of collective belief comes in. When we surround ourselves with others who share our vision and believe in our potential, our own belief is strengthened. This is why support groups, mastermind circles, and close-knit communities can be so transformative. They create environments where belief is nurtured and reinforced. Consider the remarkable story of the Danish resistance during World War II. When Nazi Germany ordered all Danish Jews to wear yellow stars, the Danish king reportedly declared that he would wear one too, and many Danish citizens followed suit. This collective act of solidarity was rooted in a shared belief in human dignity and equality. It transformed what could have been a mark of shame into a symbol of national unity and resistance. The power of collective belief can be seen in less dramatic circumstances too. Studies show that students perform better when their teachers believe in their potential. Employees are more productive when their managers express confidence in their abilities. Children develop stronger self-esteem when their parents believe in them unconditionally. In each case, one person's belief creates a context that makes it easier for others to believe in themselves. This is perhaps one of the greatest gifts we can give each other, the gift of believing in someone's potential, especially when they're struggling to see it themselves. As we wrap up our exploration of the power of true belief, I want to address a common misconception. Some people worry that emphasizing belief might lead to victim blaming or suggest that those facing genuine hardship simply aren't believing hard enough. This is not at all what true belief is about. True belief acknowledges that there are real systemic barriers, injustices, and circumstances beyond our control. It doesn't deny these realities. Rather, it focuses on what we can control: our response to these circumstances, our interpretation of events, and our vision for what's possible despite obstacles. True belief is not about blaming ourselves for challenges we face. It's about empowering ourselves to face those challenges with courage, creativity, and resilience. It's about bringing an umbrella to the prayer meeting, even when the sky is clear, not because we're denying the drought, but because we're preparing for the rain we believe will come. So I invite you to consider, what would change in your life if you truly believed in your capacity to create the future you desire? What umbrella would you bring to your own prayer meeting? What action would you take today if you knew, with absolute certainty, that you would ultimately succeed? Remember the words often attributed to Henry Ford: whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Your beliefs create the boundaries of your possible. Expand those beliefs and you expand what's possible for your life. Like little Emma with her umbrella, may you walk through life not just hoping for rain, but expecting it, and may you always be prepared when it comes.